You really don't need a camera pointed at your face to be successful. In fact, you don't even need to show up on screen at all. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a massive shift that is literally reshaping the entire creator economy right now. Some of the absolute biggest channels out there, we're talking millions of subscribers and serious revenue, are run by people whose identities are a total mystery. So if you want to build an audience, but the thought of ring lights, cameras, or just being perceived online makes you want to instantly slam your laptop shut, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's dig into exactly how faceless channels are working in 2026.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the core thesis here. You don't need a camera, a face, or even your real name to build a YouTube channel that gets millions of views. I mean, think about that. That idea completely dismantles what we've always thought of as an influencer. We've been totally conditioned to think you need this huge, booming personality and expensive gear to make it. But the data from 2026 proves the barrier to entry has completely shifted.
All right, here is our quick roadmap for today's Explainer. 1. The faceless content shift. 2. Top niches for 2026. 3. Your essential content toolkit. 4. Structuring for high retention. And finally, number 5, mistakes that kill channels. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, the faceless content shift. So, I totally get the immediate hesitation here. You're probably thinking, wait, isn't it way harder to grow if people can't actually see and connect with a human face? And sure, a face is one way to build a connection, but at the end of the day, viewers really subscribe because you're giving them value, whether that's teaching them something, entertaining them, or just giving them a certain feeling. With traditional channels, you have to be that source of value live on camera. Faceless channels, they completely remove that camera shyness roadblock. They are purely value-driven. And because you're relying entirely on voiceovers and clever editing, they're incredibly scalable. You can literally build a whole portfolio of different channels using this exact same model. Moving right along to section 2, top niches for 2026. So, what kind of content should you actually be making? Let's rapid fire through the top 5 right now. Number 1 is top 10s and listicles. Think weird history facts or unsolved mysteries. There's a massive built-in audience for this, and the formatting is super repeatable. Number 2, educational explainers. This is absolutely perfect if you're the kind of person who falls down those late-night Wikipedia rabbit holes. Number 3 is storytelling, like those Reddit-style narrations that have just exploded as background listening. Number 4, motivational quote compilations. These are dominating short-form platforms right now. And 5, finance and business. Now this one's competitive, for sure, but it attracts a really high-value audience, which means significantly higher ad rates when you do monetize. But hey, before you rush straight into the finance niche, just chasing those ad dollars, remember this absolutely crucial point. You have got to pick a niche you won't burn out on. Seriously, burnout kills way more channels than a lack of views ever will. If you pick a topic purely for the algorithm, but you secretly hate researching it, it's literally like trying to run a marathon in shoes that are 3 sizes too small. You are going to quit within a couple of months. Choose a topic you'd happily geek out about for free. All right, let's take a look at section 3, your essential content toolkit. Let's talk gear and software. The best news, you don't need a fancy soundproof studio for this. For voiceovers, a basic USB mic works perfectly if you want to use your own voice. Or, for total anonymity, modern AI voice tools sound unbelievably natural now. When it comes to editing, CapCut is hands down the undisputed king for fast, beginner-friendly workflows. DaVinci Resolve is amazing if you want advanced pro-level control for free, and Premiere Pro is still the paid industry standard. For your visuals, hit up Pexels or Pixabay for totally free stock footage, and Canva is going to be an absolute lifesaver for your graphics and thumbnails. Actually, scratch that. Before you even open any of that editing software, we need to talk about the invisible foundation of any successful channel: research. It is, without a doubt, the most underrated step in this whole process. Because you don't have a charming on-screen personality to hide a weak script, your information has to be flawless. Deep, genuinely interesting research is the main difference between content that feels cheaply thrown together and content that commands respect. So definitely take your time here. Which leads us perfectly into section 4, structuring for high retention. So how do we keep people watching when there's literally nobody on screen to look at? Well, you use a super strict 4-step formula. Step 1, the hook. Because you lack a face, your first 5 to 10 seconds have to work incredibly hard, with a bold claim, a striking visual, or a massive question. Step 2, quick context. Tell them exactly why this matters right now. Step 3 is the main content. Break this down into really distinct segments. Whatever you do, do not ramble. Keep it tight and highly structured. And step 4, the payoff. Give them a satisfying conclusion so the whole experience feels complete. And while you're structuring that script, you have to remember that pacing is everything. Seriously, leaving a static image up with just a voiceover running for 2 straight minutes, that is an absolute death sentence for your retention graph. You need to simulate movement, cut your footage every few seconds, add text overlays for your key points, constantly swap out your B-roll. Visual variety is absolutely the lifeblood of a faceless channel.
And finally, let's wrap up with section 5, mistakes that kill channels.
Mistake number 1 is definitely picking the wrong niche. Like we talked about earlier, if you choose a topic purely because some guru said it was highly profitable, but you have literally zero personal interest in it, it's going to turn into a miserable chore. You'll dread making the content, the quality will inevitably drop, and you'll abandon the whole project long before the algorithm ever gets a chance to find you. Mistake number 2 is static visuals. Oh man, I see this all the time with new creators. They find 3 cool stock clips and they just loop them for an 8-minute runtime. Look, viewers are smart, right? They notice lazy editing instantly. And the second they feel like you aren't putting in the effort, they're gone. You have got to maintain that visual momentum. Mistake number 3 is low effort packaging. A lot of folks out there seem to think faceless means lower effort. But that is totally backwards. Because you don't have a recognizable face or a big personal brand carrying your content, your title and your thumbnail actually have to work so much harder to earn that initial click. Your packaging needs to be absolutely top tier. And mistake number 4, this is the absolute deadliest one, direct plagiarism. Just taking someone else's script and having an AI read it word for word. Not only does this guarantee you'll never build a loyal audience that actually respects your unique angle, but it actively invites copyright strikes that will get your channel permanently wiped out. Be inspired by others, for sure, but always, always write from your own original perspective. Okay, let's bring it all together. If you remember nothing else from this explainer today, remember these 4 core pillars. Pick a niche you can actually sustain for the long haul. Assemble a basic toolkit without overcomplicating things. Structure every single piece of content around an undeniable hook and rapid visual pacing. And lastly, bring your own original ideas to the table, completely avoiding the traps of lazy editing and plagiarism. That brings us to our final question for you to chew on today. If you were starting from absolute zero right now, in 2026, which exact niche would you pick? Seriously, think about what you love researching and what you wouldn't mind talking about for hours on end. In our next explainer, we're going to break down the exact step-by-step niche selection process I would use to launch a brand new channel today. Figure out your answer, and I'll see you next time as we keep unpacking the most fascinating strategies out there. Thanks so much for learning with me today.